Woohoo! That's what we like, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 MX-5 Miata Grand Touring. And I wish I knew what to call this paint color. I've gotten a lot of compliments, not only from my girlfriend, but just from random strangers that stopped me to say, hey, love the color. It's like this light gray, not quite primer gray, and with the tan leather interior. It's really classy. It looks great. The wheels on the 2024 ND3, I think, polarizing, not a big fan. I think the prior wheels were definitely better. For those who don't know, I actually own a 2024 ND3 Miata, but mine is the Club with the BBR package. So that's the Brembo BBS Recaros. So the Brembo wheels, I think, are a big upgrade over these. With the Grand Touring, this is the top trim, starting off around $35K. But remember, if you want the BBR package, that only comes with the Club, and that's a $4,500 option. Here, $35K, you're saving quite a bit of money by going soft top instead of hard top. And today I'm gonna tell you how this compares to my ND3 Miata. We got these nice seat warmers. All right, a lot of you are gonna disagree with me. However, I find it ridiculous that I paid like 38, 39K for my Miata, and it does not have automatic headlights, and it does not have climate control. Single zone climate control in a small car like this, which I get is not the point of the car, but I think that the price of just adding climate control to my near $40,000 brand new car in 2024 is not an unreasonable ask. I find this, the way that I like to use HVAC is I keep this on auto and I only change this if I'm too hot or too cold. That's how I do it in all my other cars. I love that, but in my Miata I have to manually adjust it. I know, first world problems. And then same with the headlights. I like to just leave it on auto. That's how I do it in my CX-50 as well as in my Amira. But I'm gonna tell you how she drives with the top down. We're gonna turn traction completely off. We're powered by a naturally aspirated inline-4 2-liter engine making 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque, which isn't a lot. But as we're going uphill here, you gotta remember the car only weighs around 2,300 pounds. It is a featherweight. There's a reason why they say Miata is always the answer. It's such a pure driving experience. Now, how it compares to mine, they're obviously way more similar than different. The seats, the Recaros, I think, are brilliant if you are going to be taking it to the track. But even for regular canyon driving like this, these regular seats, they're not bad, man. They're supportive enough. If you're going to be doing canyon carving regularly, then okay, maybe you actually do want the Recaros. But I think for most people, the regular seats are going to be adequate. The regular brakes are also going to be adequate, because the Brembos, what they do is they give you larger calipers in the front, but they don't change the rotor size, and of course the rear brakes are the same. And you're only going to feel that really if you're going hard on the canyons and especially downhill, or if you're going on track. So that's why I went with the BBRs. And then the BBS wheels, of course, as well. I love the new LSD because you can feel it at corner exit. You get more rotation. On street driving, as we're not really testing, we're not doing much trail braking coming into a corner hot. Can't really tell you about the LSD lockup. So it's supposed to add more stability at corner entry and more rotation at corner exit. You can definitely feel the additional corner exit rotation, but on street, the entry is less noticeable. That's gonna be more noticeable on track. And we have reviewed the ND3 on track right up here. Amazing pedal position for heel toe. Getting more of that rotation right there. The other thing that really surprised me about driving this Grand Touring for the last few days is with the top up, there is such a big difference compared to my Club with regards to highway noise. So my Club on the highway, I can't really listen to music or to a podcast at a comfortable listening volume. Sure, you can crank the volume, but I just don't find that comfortable. I'm an old man, okay? So I will use my AirPods when I'm driving my Miata on the highway. But this, with the thicker, soft cloth top, it's quite a bit quieter. And as a result, it's still loud. It's still like, according to my Apple Watch, it's something like what is that, 78, 79 decibels. It's still pretty loud, but it is noticeably quieter compared to my Club soft top. That's a nice addition. Having the heated seats, which by the way my Club also has, but heated seats with the top down, and you know, you can even crank the air up so that your legs are getting warm. It's actually kind of cool. It's a nice experience even on these chillier days. You get the best of both worlds. Double clutch that down to second. Seamless and smooth and buttery. Because although the throttle in the Miata is a little bit sluggish, you got to get used to it. You may initially be under blipping it for rev matching. Once you get used to it, it is very natural. Oh, look at that sunset, dude. See, right there's an example, under blipping it on the heel toe. We've got double wishbone suspensions in the front, help with that negative camber change as we get travel on that wheel, have a better contact patch, helps reduce understeer. And multi-link in the rear. They made some change from the NC to the ND, whereby you have this kinetic as well as compliance toe change. And the NC was a bit larger, so they actually made it toe out at corner entry and then toe in mid-corner and corner exit. Whereas here, it also, by the way, gave the NC a bit of this like slightly unstable nature, which I just found more fun than anything because it's more tail happy. But here it's more natural. The ND3, of course, has a better steering rack as well. Better on-center feel than the ND1, ND2. More texture. And better load up mid-corner as well. If you guys want to see how the ND and NC compare, we did a comparison on that as well. There we go. Man, top down, this view on this road, life is good. Newer infotainment, same as my ND3, of course. Gotta love it. Modernizes the interior quite a bit. And I gotta say, with the Club, you know, I only had black leather as the option. My ideal spec would have been a British Racing Green with tan leather interior. And a lot of us were speculating that the 35th anniversary edition was gonna have British Racing Green with tan leather interior. Ended up not being the case. That would have been prime, but I think the Soul Red Crystal Metallic is my favorite red that comes on any car OEM. And with my colorblind sunglasses, it just pops in such a gorgeous, gorgeous way. And the red and black, of course, works quite well. Although red and tan interior would also be a little baby Ferrari spec in a way. Oh, the view! So willing to change direction as well. Front midshift, you can see the engine actually behind the front axle. They moved it even further back and lower than compared to the NC, and they already had it pretty far back. So it's really impressive what Mazda has done. I love what the company is doing, which is why I own two Mazdas. I have a CX-50 as my daily driver and an ND3 Miata, which is going to be my track toy. Make sure you are subscribed if you want to see that whole track build and the experience, figuring out what mods are best for the ND3 Miata. But you see, the Grand Touring, I feel like, is best for those who don't actually want to track their car. They want to keep it on the street and they want to be comfortable. that thicker soft top, the climate control, and the automatic headlights, to me, make a meaningful change, a meaningful difference in the enjoyment and just pleasure of daily driving this thing. But of course, I went with the Club because I am going to be tracking mine. But man, such an incredible recipe. The fact that we get this in 2024, I think is fantastic. Woohoo! That's what we like, baby. I'd say this and the GR86 are my two top picks for a young beginner car enthusiast best vehicles. And the reason why I say those two in particular is because they have all the right ingredients, and you don't need a ton of power to have fun and to become a better driver. You just need a car that has good inputs, has good chassis balance, good dynamics, and is controllable. And that's how you up your game. And I learned on an FRS and a GR86, and I still have much to learn. I'm no Max Verstappen. I'm not even a Lance Stroll, right? Like, even that guy would kick my ass. But I think that when you have better tools like a Miata or GR86, it makes learning a lot easier. And if you were to start off with something more numb and heavier and more powerful, it's not necessarily more fun, actually. I would argue that you can have a lot of fun driving a slow car fast and upping your skill set. And hey, it's really fun when you have a slower car and you're getting point buys from cars that are 3 times the price, twice the power, and it's a positive feedback loop where you just get inspired to work on your craft and get better at driving. Look at that. I'm really happy with my Miata. I will be doing mods, but whether you want the more adult spec, I'm not gonna call it old man spec, I'm gonna call it adult spec, or you want the more track spec or track directional spec, because it's not really fully track spec by any means. Miata's got you covered, man. My friends, let me know what you think with a comment down below. Much love, and I'll see you all in the next one.